She's so fine. Hell blows my mind. Hell lights my day.
What's good, guys? I wanted to bring this to the channel. This is from today, and if this isn't sad, I don't know what is. Chicago family will soon be homeless due to limited resources for crime victims. A pregnant mother and witness to a homicide, who was relocated after her Humboldt Park apartment was burned down, will soon be homeless because Cook County lacks sufficient funding for services to protect witnesses and victims of crime. The 43-year-old woman said her apartment was set on fire in retaliation after her son was shot to death, and she identified the killer. The office of Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox had been paying for 2 hotel rooms where she's been living with her 6 kids since the fire. But the mother said she was told the funding is dried up and that she has to move out by December the 5th, which is today. Late Friday evening, which was yesterday, the mother said county officials told her she could stay for an additional 4 days, but they would only pay for 1 room instead of 2. So that would be her and her 6 children in 1 room. They are telling me that I'm going to have to go to a shelter. I feel like that's unsafe because I'm pregnant, she said. I thought they were going to help me until I can get my own place and get stable. Once they throw you in a shelter, that's not protection, she said. Around 5 p.m. on October the 13th, her 23-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter sat on the porch outside her apartment when a red sedan drove by and someone fired shots, striking them both. The 13-year-old was shot in the chest and taken to Stroger Hospital. The 23-year-old died after being shot, according to Chicago police. I saw this person drive up and shoot, the mother said. I was crying, but I stopped when I saw my daughter. I didn't want to scare her. She was shot and I called the ambulance. That's when I found out my son was dying on the side of my house. I didn't even know he was shot. WBEZ is not identifying the woman because she witnessed a crime and is cooperating with prosecutors. Records from Chicago's police and fire departments, as well as court documents, corroborate her story. The mother said she identified the shooter to police. 10 days later, prosecutors charged a 21-year-old man with first-degree murder and attempted murder, according to court records. 5 days after that, her apartment was set on fire. The Chicago Fire Department said the source was an open flame ignition, but the fire was not labeled arson. We can only determine that a human act was probably responsible, but we cannot speculate on the mindset, said Lawrence Langford, spokesperson for the fire department. The woman said she called the state's attorney's office asking for help. She said she was placed in a hotel with her children in late October. She said she was told about a month later that Fox's office didn't have money to continue paying for her hotel room. She said she was told to move into a shelter with her children. The mother says she can't grieve her son's death because she needs to find a way to protect the rest of her children. They've already killed my child and now my house is burned down. I have nowhere to go because I have no family here in Chicago, she said. I really felt like my life was over. Like, what am I to do? That's when they told me they would be here to assist me. Tondra R. Simonton, Chief Communications Officer for the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, declined to provide any information regarding this case. For safety reasons, we cannot discuss information regarding relocation plans for victims and their families, Simonton said in a written statement. Simonton said about $250,000 was allocated last year for services to victims and witnesses. Those services include funding for transportation, babysitting, food, and relocation. Violent crime ravages so many of our communities here in Cook County. We rely heavily on witnesses coming forward to testify in court. And one of the barriers for that testimony is people feeling safe, said Kim Fox during a county budget hearing in July. Many of these people live in the same communities as the perpetrators. It is imperative for them to feel safe. Fox said her office has limited funding to relocate witnesses, but it's not enough. The mother said that she was told she'd have to move the week of Thanksgiving, but was granted a longer stay until December the 5th, after WBEZ initially inquired about her case. She said she was contacted again late Friday, by the state's attorney's office, and told that they would cover her hotel stay for 4 more days. This is just shameful. Here you have this whole no snitching code in Chicago. This woman witnesses her son get shot, as well as her daughter. She identifies the perpetrators. They arrest him and charge him with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. And then someone comes and tries to set fire to her apartment. And now she's got her 6 kids and herself in a relocation program where now the funding has been cut off. I mean, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's so shameful. I don't know what the solution is in Chicago, but man, there sure needs to be one. Because this is just a terrible, terrible situation. I cannot imagine. And Christmas coming up, like this woman's life is just in danger. In danger. I'm going to end the video here, but this story has me just completely tore up today. Thanks for watching, guys.